We're going to obviously talk about football throughout today's show. And we'll start off talking about your side, Man City, if that's all right. What have you made of their season? So it's a strange season so far, isn't it? Because no one's really every time someone breaks away, they get pulled back, they lose games, they lose players, and so on.
It's not really started yet. I mean, it won't get going. It won't really take shape until March, I reckon. To be honest, if you'd have said at the beginning we'd be top of the league going into this, everyone would have took it. I think we've been great. I thought yesterday. What day is it today? Tuesday. I thought Sunday was. I thought it was a great game, and I don't think we played particularly badly. It's just we made a couple of. Sterling's tap-in was a comedy of errors, and maybe Edison should have done better with Jackson's goal. But apart from that, Chelsea had the game of their lives, and he made a good point yesterday. I was listening to the show yesterday, and we were asking, should City fans be worried? And Darren, I was in the back of the car going, he's right, saying, no, everyone else should be worried, because if you take Man City away and you score 4 against them and you still can't beat them, it's going to be... I think all in all, this is pretty much as good as it gets for us after a treble and all that kind of thing.
When you look at where you are at the minute, which is top, and usually Manchester City are quite slow starters, do you all of a sudden get even more confident because you think, well, look, you're in the mix already? And I think Manchester City have played well, but I still don't think they've played as well as we did last season.
No.
So when they get to a certain level, surely you think you're going to run away?
No, I think if we take Sunday's game, for example, once Man City go 3-2 up, if KDB is on that pitch, he can take that game away from a team in under 5 minutes. He's the only guy on our team that can make one pass that takes an entire defence out, and you have to score. So with the way that we play without him, it's a real slow build-up kind of thing. And I think Haaland would probably have maybe 4 more goals this season if Kev was playing. So I think once he comes back, and I heard an interview with him at the weekend where he was saying he's never really had a break from football since he was like 15. It's the biggest kind of break he's ever had, and he's dying to get back. So, I mean, the dream for the rest of the season for me would be that he comes back in February, and we get to a Champions League final, and he takes control of a Champions League final and cements himself as because the 2 Champions League finals he's turned up pretty jaded. And was taken off in both, and I think it would be great for him to really dominate a Champions League final. But I think he's going to destroy it when he comes back.
Was the first Champions League final he got injured?
Chelsea.
It was quite naughty, wasn't it?
Yeah. What's the guy that went to Real Madrid?
Rudiger.
He smashed his foot. I mean, I'm not sure it was deliberate, but and the last one he got taken off injured because he plays every game, and. He just looked tired, but I'd love it if he came back and dominated a Champions League final and lifted it as a captain. That would be amazing.
Is he one of those players that you want? I know, look, none of us are getting any younger, but he's sort of he's gone past the twilight of his career. Do you worry how on earth you're going to replace someone like that? Because he's so good.
Yeah, well, we were the same with Aguero, and you don't replace them.
Yeah.
You've just got you have to start again. You can't replace people like Company because they bring something. It's not just the way that they play, it's the way that they carry themselves off the pitch. And, thankfully, the people at City, the recruitment people are wizards, and when Silva left and Aguero and Yaya, that's like the heart of, and Company soon after that, it's the heart of any team, but they've replaced them with Silva, and Haaland and Diaz and Akanji, so... You can't replace them like for like, and once Kev goes, it'll be the end of an era. But it's then it opens it up for other players, So the recruitment will be key after this.
Bernardo Silva's on. I know you said you can't replace anyone, but when you look at what he can give you in so many different positions, he
plays in every big game.
Yeah,
every big game, and he's one of those players. I would say that every single football supporter would want him in their team.
Yeah.
Liverpool fans hate him, but they love him, because and I've never seen him have a bad game. I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad game.
No.
He used to get hooked early on by Pep on about an hour when he would change it up, but he just runs all day and you can rely on him. And even on Sunday, can't really work out where he's playing because he's picking the ball up off the back four.
Yeah.
And then the next thing he's playing right back, and then he's right wing, and then he's assisting, and it's like, where he gets that stamina from is beyond me. I mean, just and he's one of those players that City seem to find where he's no trouble.
Do you think this crop of players is better than the group you had last season?
The treble winners?
Yeah. I know, because you put the word treble winners in the title, it sounds like a silly question. But...
No, but the experience of Gundogan and Mahrez, that was a great, great team. I mean, Pep's had 2 great teams since he's been here, which is the team that did the 100 points. And last season was a great team. It really, really was. It was, you don't, the year after you've won the treble, you're not the treble winners. It's that year when you're leading up to it. And I don't know, there was just something about that team from the game, the last game of the previous season against Villa when we came back. That team were unstoppable.
Do you know what? City have always had great players, right, in this era. But the one player last season that used to scare me was Gundogan, because he'd always you mentioned the Villa game. He makes a difference in that game. Scores in the FA Cup final. He's the one where I'd go.
Well, there's a thing with City. I think this is the thing that will set City apart this season again. Is once they can see the finish line, somebody always steps up.
Yeah.
Where it used to be Yaya and be Aguero, and last it was Gundogan. For example, when Arsenal seen the finish line last season, they're like a rabbit in the headlights.
Yeah.
When City see the finish line, they tend to go into Avengers mode, and it's the business end. And I wouldn't be surprised this season if it's Kev. Kev comes back in February, and I think it'll be. I mean, do you know what? I think it's going to be a brilliant season. I don't think it's going to be like a procession, because I think Tottenham and Chelsea will take points off people, and I don't think it's going to be like a double figure thing. I think it'll go down to the last couple of weeks. But if we're there or thereabouts, and we're within 6 points of it or something, we've got. I mean, touch wood, I say it, but we've got quite an easy run in. But we've got the next 6 weeks for us are brutal, absolutely brutal.
talkSPORT Drive, super opinionated sporting debate, Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.